We are back with another review, and today we are checking out the newest release of the Nintendo Classic Edition. We're going to compare it to an original launch edition, and we're going to see if there's any differences. This is a sealed in the box, how it came, never been opened. We're going to open both these. This one was just purchased. So both these are brand new, sealed. So let's check out what we got. Now I got this one at Walmart. Yep, Walmart. And it was $59.88, I believe, which is like the Walmart thing. So right out the box, just checking out the front here. Everything appears to be the same. The only difference that I do notice is the top bars here are different color, and I'll show you the one difference. It's going to be difficult to illustrate it on camera, but if you have an old one and a new one to compare, the older one has a more of an orange color, and the newer one is a more pale red. And you could almost see it in the video. You can see this one has a little more of an orange color, and you can see this one has more of like a pale red versus the more orange color. That's the only thing that I'm noticing right off the bat. That and the star field on both these. This one, you can see actually what, as I put them next to each other, this one is a little bit more matte, or I guess you could say the black looks whiter. This looks like a more deeper black. You can see the deepness here versus this. This has like a whiteness to it, which is making it almost very not black, I guess you could say. And it looks like the gold is actually a little bit different. Now, this gold has a little bit more of a yellowish, traditional gold tinge, and this gold appears to have a little bit more of a tannish tinge. Now, let's check those out right off the bat. So, you can see that the one on the right here has a little bit more of a tannish tinge. This has more of a traditional gold tinge. So, they did change the coloring. Let's check the absolute bottom of the box. Everything down here appears to be pretty standard. All the information is the same, the barcode down there, all the other information. Now let's check the ends out. We'll do the Zelda end first. So again, the only thing that I'm noticing off this is the star field. The star field is more has more depth on the newer one versus the older one. The older one has more of like a whitish color to it. Let's bring it out the light, and you can see that the one on the left here does not have as dark of a depth of a star field as the one on the right. Now the text, link, and everything else is the same. The fact that there's multiple languages on here, that's all the same. Let's check the Bowser end. So again, the thing that I'm noticing on this one, the older one, is the star field is still on all three sides where the star field shows. It's not as dark on the older one. The newer one has the deeper star field. So let's check out the back. A back appears to be the same as well. Although again the black on the left looks a little bit lighter than the black on the right. It looks a little bit more deep, has a little more deeper tone to it. So, and these are, I mean, this one has been kept in climate controlled environment. This hasn't been, you know, and I mean all the sides are the same difference in regards to the black. So let's check out what we got on the inside. So let's do the old one first, and we'll just open the lid here. On the Bowser side, we'll check out the new one. So we got the same thing on both. Now you're playing with power. It looks like all the gold font actually has changed. So if you look here, it's actually a little bit easier to illustrate maybe here, where you can see clearly on the right one here has a little bit more of a tanner tone, and the one on the left has more of a golden yellow gold tone. This has more of like a, if you were to say like a rose gold versus a traditional yellow gold. So that's the number one thing that I'm noticing straight off the bat, and that's universal with all the gold coloring, is that they are different. So they are different in regards to the coloring. That's not something that's a trick of the eye. So on the inside here, it looks like the blues are the same. Starfield, we're running into the same thing that we're running into with the previous. So let's check out the Zelda end. See if we got. I guess that one. Well, actually, we'll open that up after we slide out the insert, so we don't ruin the box. But let's slide out the insert of the new one. And then it looks like the Zelda insert, the Zelda side doesn't actually have any writing in there. So they actually want you to open the side, obviously, with the little latch, which is great. So, and then we'll take the first edition box. We'll lay those next to each other. And again, no writing on the Zelda one for that one either. So far, the main things that we noticed with the actual differences in the box is the top bar. They're different colors, which you can clearly, actually, the top's the best way to illustrate them. You can clearly see that this one is more orange. This is the older one, and you can see the new one has more of a pinkish hue to it. There are definitely differences in color if you put them next to each other. So yeah, that is the top bar, and then the gold. The font's coloration on the outside of the box is definitely different. You can see the yellow gold here, and then you can see here on the new one, which has more of a rose gold hue to it. So that is the major differences that I'm noticing right off the bat from the boxes, which now I was like, well, I hope I don't mix these up. But I mean, the outside of the box definitely lets me know which one's which now. And yeah, again, you can also see that illustrated here on the inside with the Now You're Playing with Power logos as well. You can see the more rose gold one on the right and the yellow one on the left. So move on to the inside, the packed in stuff. So right off the bat here, well, I guess that actually is supposed to sit like that, but this one didn't have it in there coming from the factory. This one was just sitting like that. And then we got the original pack in. We'll just basically take everything out, and then we'll compare each item individually. And then we're going to pull up the insert here so we can grab our controller. We'll put that aside. The charging block here. Nintendo Classic. And then cardboard insert, which holds our power cord here. And then we got our Nintendo branded HDMI. So let's check it all out. Now let's unbox the older version, which has the insert here. We have our controller right there. We have our charging brick. We have our console. And then our cardboard insert lifts out the same exact way. And we have our power cord right there. And we have our HDMI cord. So, in regards to the cardboard, that looks pretty much the same. I mean, the way everything is designed on the cardboard looks the same. Everything, the way it functions is the same. So the insert of the cardboard is identical. So put those aside. But let's go with, let's check out the, okay, so let's check out the inserts first. And we'll compare those. Bag's the same, nothing new on that. Let's see what we have on the inside here. So on the older one, we have the poster / instructions there. You got the warranty user agreement, which we're not going to go through the fine print on that. The My Nintendo code, whatever, you guys can have that. On the new one, we have the poster. And we just have the classic edition Nintendo thing. So no my Nintendo rewards points with the newer version. So that's something that sets them apart. That's definitely something that's different. So let's check out this, and let's just see if there's anything different back here. We'll set that out like that, and so far everything appears to be straight up and down. Now again, this is a lot of the same repetitive information, and I imagine they just printed this again. So I wonder why the gold is different and they didn't just use the same color code. That's interesting. So there's the old one, and here's the new one. I'll put the old cardboard with the old stuff. So let's check out the HDMI cord. So got the new one right there, and then we have the old one right there. So right off the bat, we got the Nintendo brand on one side, HDMI on the other. Everything looks the same here. WUP008. That's Nintendo's product codes. We got HDMI, Nintendo, HDMI, WUP008. So these are pretty much identical. So those are identical there. Let's see what we have next. Let's go to the power cord itself. We got the new one and the old one. So right off the bat, I know it's minor, but we got different colored ties. We got black tie on the old one. We got a white tie on the new one. We have a little bit of a looser tighten here, and we have a little bit of a tighter tighten here. So other than that, these appear to be the same gauge wire and about the same length based off of how many times it's going around itself. But the only difference I'm noticing is the tightness of the wires here, and the color of the twist ties are different. So that's the only thing I'm noticing different on these. So the white one is the newer one, and the black one is the older one. Now let's check out the charging blocks. Pull those up. So we got the newer one here on the right, which I could already feel the difference, and we have the original launch one there. So the original launch one said light on AC adapter, and it didn't have any Nintendo branding. So it was just a square power brick. I'll show you all four sides here. And it just had the USB outlet on it, and it had no Nintendo branding. And light on is the brand there. You can see that now we have AC adapter, light on, so same brand, they kept that. Let's see if we have the same model number. Nope. So this one has a model number of PA-1050-39NU, but this one actually has a Nintendo part number. So if you see the CLV003, that's actually a Nintendo part number. So Light On made the part, but it's actually a Nintendo part now because it's been branded. So it's got the nice hideaway USB plug in it, and it's a nice brick. So the difference, they changed the shape for sure. They branded the brick and they gave it an official Nintendo part number. And it's a little bit shorter. So it's a little bit wider as well. But yeah, that's the one of the main differences that I've noticed so far is the power bricks. The new power brick is a little bit larger and it is now branded. So let's check out the controllers. So right off the bat here, we got the same type of packaging. Slide it out of their little foam baggies, and we'll just lay these out. So look pretty standard. Twist ties are the same. We got the back of the controller, same model number, CLV002 from Nintendo, and then it just says controller on the back, and it has all the safety warnings. Screws are the same. Front of the controller is exactly the same. Placement, the buttons feel exactly the same. That's identical. You got cords are the exact same length, same color twist ties, same baggies. So I find that interesting that they did re-release this, but they didn't release it with a longer cord, because that was the biggest thing people complained about. So the controllers look identical. That's identical in regards to the process. Now lastly, let's compare the console itself, and then we'll do a quick little review of everything that we noticed that was different. So, right off the bat, the bags were exactly the same that they came in. The colors of the consoles are exactly the same. The front of the console, again, and it's identical. Like I can't even. This one was actually shipped on, which is the newer one. Or I'm sorry, this is the older one. Was shipped on. Top of the consoles look exactly the same. I mean, sides exactly the same. Back is exactly the same. They both say DC in, HDMI out, HDMI on the back. This part's still all the same. The bottom's exactly the same. So CLV001. So yeah, it looks like the only differences that I noticed from everything that was changed in regards to the old version, the first launch edition, versus the new one, is the brick, the charge brick. The new brick has the branding. That's definitely new. That's been changed. The original bundled brick is not branded Nintendo, so that's interesting. And the new Classic Edition, I'm saying has the different color red top bars and has different color gold font. I'm saying the new one has a more of a rose gold finish and a more of a pale colored red, and I think the first launch edition one has a more of a yellow gold. So let's do a last comparison on that. I think the top one here has more of a red gold or a rose gold, and the bottom one has more of a yellow gold finish. And then we have the top bar here on the older one is a more of a red orange, and this one is more of a pale or salmon color red. So definitely differences in the box for sure. So yeah, there you go, old one and the new one. So if you like this review, give it a thumbs up. You notice any other differences that we missed, especially when you turn on the systems and actually try them, let us know in the comments below. Again, yeah, if we missed anything, please let us know in the comments below. So again, if you want more content like this, subscribe. We do retro games and toys on Fridays, so check those videos out. Be sure to subscribe. Have a great rest of your day. And of course, always how it works, I got one more thing to show you. But one of the biggest things sticking out like a sore thumb that I didn't notice the first time is the new box has the ESRB rating on the front of this. Everyone 10 and up, and the Nintendo seal of quality has been moved over here. This is the older version. As you can see here, we got the rose gold NES on the right and the yellow gold NES on the left. And the left one does not have the ESRB, and the right one does. So that's the other last main difference that I noticed. I just noticed them when I was putting them away, so it wasn't even something that I noticed just at first glance. So it just shows how easy it is to think these are exactly identical, but when it comes to collecting, the one thing you don't want to mistake is those subtle differences, because those subtle differences mean lots of money. So again, I hope you guys had enjoyed this video, and let me know again if you've seen some things that we didn't notice or point out. Let us know in the comments below. Later on.